Well, next week, Batters Up will be stepping up to the plate to raise money for Maine veterans.
The 11th annual Softball Winter Classic is being hosted by Maine Veterans in Need at the American Legion Post in Topsham. Joining us now are Robert Lemont with the Topsham American Legion and David Patch, the president of Maine Veterans in Need. Thank you both so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So first, thank you both for your service. Can you tell us a little bit more about the softball tournament that you're hosting next Saturday and the goal?
This is our 11th year. We play a 5-inning round robin. Each batter goes to the plate and gets two swings of the bat. It's a 40-minute game with a 5 minutes between switching teams. If a team is ahead by 10 runs, we sort of save them, the losing team, and we call the game. All the funds are donated to Maine Veterans in Need. We have we have a silent auction where we have things coming in. The kitchen is open, and everything that is sold, the Legion has paid for, and that cash will be donated also to the Maine Veterans in Need.
Speaking of Maine Veterans in Need, let's talk about the organization.
So Maine Veterans in Need actually spun out of a committee that the VA had, and the committee was focused on trying to help our homeless veterans. In 2018, the committee was disbanded, and 4 of us that were on that committee felt that it was too important not to continue to figure out how we can help our homeless veterans. So Maine Veterans in Need was started in 2020. There is a gap, there's a need for something like Maine Veterans in Need, because all the various organizations that are funded to support homeless veterans are funded and have a process that they have to go through in order to have access to the funding. They also work 5 days a week. And so if you have a veteran that's in need and it's on a weekend or at night, whatever that need may be might escalate into a crisis if they're not if they can't talk to somebody immediately. So Maine Veterans in Need is 7 days a week. So when they call on a weekend, we can resolve whatever that, or try to resolve whatever that problem happens to be. The other issue is that there are so many different organizations that are funded, and all of them are great and they do great work. Many of them are run by retired military or veterans themselves, and all of them are committed to making sure that we have our brothers and sisters' backs, and we want to do what we can. So even though they may be working 5 days a week, in reality, when I call somebody on a weekend, they're usually there to answer the call. The other issue is, how does a veteran know what these organizations are? How do they know what services are available? So by having a central organization like Maine Veterans in Need, we have the connection with all the other organizations so that we can make sure that the available resources are there. And because all these other organizations, there's a process that you have to go through. So for example, if you're a veteran, you have to have a DD-214, that's your discharge document. How many homeless veterans carry that document around? So Maine Veterans in Need, quick conversation with a veteran as a retired person, I can tell whether or not they're a veteran or not. And even if there were to be a mistake, you just had somebody who was in need of something and you just solved it. I've never, in the 4 years we've been doing this, actually not have a veteran. So we're able to take care of the situation right then. And that's why this fundraiser is so important, because we've got to have this no strings attached money so that we can immediately put somebody into a hotel. We can immediately take care of getting whatever services they may need to have. It could be a broken down car. It could be anything that if that wasn't taken care of, they would become homeless because all of a sudden they couldn't pay their rent. Or, and of course, part of the problem is, as we all know, a lot of the veterans are living on the margin. All of a sudden, the electric bills go up. And now all of a sudden where they were making ends meet, they aren't. So they have a particular problem, emergent situation there needs to be a way that they can immediately get access to getting that particular situation resolved. So that's I call this a gap filler. We're able to fill that gap working with all the other organizations. This network works together really well. So I can give you tons of examples of how all these organizations with great people running them, we all work together to solve these veterans issues.
That's amazing. And now for the event, the slogan is "We play in the cold to help stop veterans from living in the cold." Can you tell us just the significance of that?
Well, yeah, a lot of our veterans, as he said, if they're homeless, they have to live in the cold. They live in tents or in a sleeping bag on the side of the street or something, or in their cars. And this is the way that we can raise money, and we play in, it doesn't matter what the weather is, we play to help eradicate homelessness for veterans in Maine.
Yeah, for people that want to either come watch or they want to participate, what time's the start and where's it taking place at?
Kick off at 9 o'clock Saturday morning at the Corey E. Garver American Legion Post 202, 79 Forside Road in Topsham.
Incredible. And why is the money just so important, you know, this fundraiser?
If it weren't for that money, we would not be able to provide the services that are necessary. And one of the things that I think we are proactively solving is the 21 veteran suicides a day that we've been pretty consistent over the years about that number. And a suicide will happen because you've got a veteran that are dealing with issues, and if they can't figure out a solution, they take that ultimate, make that ultimate move. So I think that Maine Veterans in Need and the money that we're getting to be able to solve an immediate problem is one of the ways that we're addressing that veteran suicide issue.
Do you have a website that we can get more information on your organization, on the tournament too?
So yes, MaineVeteransInNeed.org, or rather MaineVeteransInNeed.us is our website, and of course we're always taking donations. We don't take government money because that requires us to go through a process. So it was paramount that we have the ability to independently use the money that we are raising to solve the problem.
American Legion Post 202.Maine. We are also on Facebook.
All right, we'll be tracking the forecast for the tournament day.
Pray for snow.
Yes, okay.
Pray for snow.
All right, that would make things interesting, right?
That's
It
great.
usually does.
Okay, well, thank you both so much again for your service and for your time this morning.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having
Speaking of service really quick, which branch?
Army.
Navy.
There you go. All right.